Well, tomorrow we take off. There's the old 10 race 700, and she's packed and she's ready, and she got everything from kitchen sink on there. It looks like we got a lot of stuff. Like I said, that big bag's got my helmet and my sleeping bag, and that just about takes up the entire room. But few clothes, cot, junk. But yeah, we're gonna leave about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. But this video ain't about that. This is kind of my opinion of the 300L at 1,000 miles. Look at here, this thing's got 1,000 miles. 1,066. And this is my take on the 300L. I made a comparison between this and the 250, CRF 250, and I kind of told you my likes and dislikes. Now, in that respect, I chose the 250 over the 300. But in this case, and here again, it depends on what you buy the bike for, what your intentions is, what you're going to do with it, and how you're going, how and where you're going to ride it. And also, it also depends on your skill set, how much skill you got, how much skill you don't have. It's all on that. So, with that being said, okay, the CRF 300L is a great bike. If you buy one, you can't go wrong. It's just a fun little bike. I'm going to use it for a small adventure bike. I've taken it out, I've run some gravel with it, and I've done a little bit of off-road with it, and I rode it on the highway. Okay, it is actually better on the highway than the CRF 250 because it has a higher 6th gear, so it runs better. It's got the same kind of tires on it. It's got the IRC tires on it, and like I said, there again, tires is just like the motorcycle. Depend on where and how you're going to ride, what kind of tires that you get. Now, if you're one of these people that can't make up your mind where they want to ride, and I'm not trying to be derogatory about this, but it's like if you can't make up your mind where you want to ride, whether you want to ride road or you want to ride mostly off-road, then you're in a world of shit, okay? Because you're not going to get a tire that's going to do both. There's no such creature. It might be great in the mud there and dirt and stuff there, and it ain't going to be able to shit on the road. It's going to sing to you, beat you up, and within 1,000, 1,500 miles, they're going to be bald, okay? Because knobbies don't like hard surface. Knobbies also don't like rain. So, but anyway. The 300L, it's a good little bike. It's a great little bike. I love the bike. I'm glad I bought it because I am going to take another trip here later on, and I'm going to ride the 300L. I just have a blast on it. It's so easy it's flickable. You can just flick it here. You can just flick it there. It just does anything and everything that you want to do. It's an amazing little bike. Now, the drawbacks on the 300L is that why didn't they just make it a 300 instead of a 286? They do make a big bore kit, which is supposed to be like an aftermarket, but you know, Honda could have just bored this thing out just a few more cc's and made a 300. That's neither here nor there. I don't like the slipper clutch. The slipper clutch is a great item. It's a great thing if you have a 300R, not a 300L. The 300R, it would work good on it. I could see some total advantages to it, and it's fantastic. On the 300L, the reason why I don't like the slipper clutch, and you know, everybody might think, well, you can't tell any difference. Yes, you can. Every once in a while, I can feel that clutch. Whenever I'm downshifting, you can just feel it. You can just feel it. And everybody says, nah, that's just the nature of a Honda. Well, my 250 don't do that. Okay, it don't have the slipper clutch. My XR650 does that, but that's because it's almost like a direct drive. There's no cush drive. There's nothing in between. It's a total hookup. But on the 300L, I can feel it in the clutch. I can feel it in the lever. I can feel it when I'm downshifting, so I can feel it in my foot, and I can hear it. Okay, if you get just right, it's got kind of a clunk or just. And is it going to hurt anything? No, it ain't going to hurt nothing. But it's just the idea. I know it's there. And to me, it's annoying. I love, like I said, I'm not bashing the bike. I love the bike. I did raise my RPMs on this thing just a little bit, and I adjusted my throttle cable for the throttle lag, and it helped. I raised the RPM just a little bit there, and it was just, I could actually go a little bit more, but the way it is right now, I can live with it and I can stay with it. If I was going to do any off-roading on this thing here, I'd raise a little bit more, because there again, I think it idles down too low whenever you let off throttle. But see, that's just little tweaking things that you got to do to suit what you want. So the 300L. I got a story to tell you about this. So I went over to get some oil, and I went over to get filtered, change the oil, and it was $24 for 2 quarts of oil, because it takes like 1.5 or 1.6, and the oil filter's like $4. It wasn't expensive. It was 24, 23, 20 something, $24, and they didn't have the filter in stock. And this is at a regular Honda dealer, and I said, now wait a minute. You mean to tell me as many 300s and 300Ls and 300 rallies that you sold, you ain't got a filter in stock? No. And they looked up and said, well, there's only 5 of them in the country, and there's 3 of them here and 2 of them there, so we'll have to order it. I said, well, that's horseshit, but go ahead. So they ordered it, and it took about 3 or 4 days to get in. Well, I wasn't in no hurry really to change oil, but it's just the idea that, you shouldn't have to wait 4 days for a damn oil filter. Well, in the meantime, I looked it up there, and I did some cross-reference, and it's a 112. It's a 112 oil filter, okay, for Honda. And it has so many uses. There's so many different things that it fits on. And I'm going, so why is it hard to get? I don't know. But anyway, so I got to looking, and I thought, I'm going to get one of those goddamn stainless steel oil filters, one of those reusable ones. So I found one, and it was $27. I thought, well, I could live with that. $27. That's that's okay. So I ordered. By the time by the time it was all said and done with the shipping and all that stuff, it was $40. I'm going, $40. Like, damn. So that means I've got 10 oil changes on this thing here before that oil filter pays for itself. But the one thing I do like about the stainless steel filters, and this is the thing, the oil filter that I got was made for the 300L Honda, but the damn thing was made in India. It's like, India? So it's like, But anyway, so it just depends, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about anybody else or how they are, but maybe their quality control might not be exactly what I'd like, okay? So I went ahead and bought the stainless steel filter, and I'm going to buy one for the 250. $40, to me it's worth it, because they won't wear out, and all you got to do is clean them. And like, okay, the paper, I never did like a paper filter, because even after a while they'll start to deteriorate. And they say, well, you should change it before it does that. Well, suppose you get one that has inferior paper in it, okay, which is possible, and suppose that thing just deteriorates and throws all that garbage in your motor. I mean, it's far-fetched, but anyway, I got the other one, and I'm happy with it. So, but 300L, it's a good little machine. It's a good bike. It's easy to ride. It's user-friendly, and but for what I'm using it for, it is perfect. Now, if I get out of the realm of what I'm using it for and try to do something else, then its shortcomings will show up. Like I said, the 250 is a lot better in the dirt because it has lower gear ratios, and it just seems like the power delivery is so much smoother. And to me, if you're sitting there and you've got just a jerky power delivery out there in the dirt, sometimes that can get you in trouble. If you've done much dirt riding, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes that can get you in trouble, and sometimes it can, but that's enough of that. But the 300L is a good little bike, 1,000 miles. I like it. I love it. Like I said, I still think you could have done without your RPM gauge, could have done without the gear indicator, and you could have done without the ABS, and you could have done without the slipper clutch. So, you know, there's 4 items right there that, as far as I'm concerned, they didn't need to put on here. It's useless to me. Am I glad they're on there? No. And if I could order a basic 300L without all that crap, that's what I would have got. I mean, I know you can get it without the ABS brakes, but this just happened to be the one sitting on there, and like I said, for the price, I couldn't bitch. But anyway, that's kind of my take on the 300L. It's a good little bike. It's a fun little bike. I just have a blast on it, and I just buzz here, there, and everywhere, and it's pretty good on the road. It's not bad in the wind, but a good rule of thumb is, in the wind, is just slow down, and you'll be a lot happier, okay? Because there ain't nothing worse than going along there and enjoying yourself, and all of a sudden getting a gust, and it just completely makes your asshole pucker. That's not good. But anyway, my take on the 300L, it's a great little machine. I love it. I got some more things I need to do to it. I do have a back rack order for it. I got to put some bark busters on it, and that's about it. Well, and a skid plate. Them's the 3 things I do have to do to it, and it'll be a good little bike. So, well, and if I can find a Mad Dog seat cover, I'll throw that on there for $20. All right. Well, I think that's kind of enough of that. But that's how I feel about the 300L. And my 1,000-mile review. Am I glad I bought it? Yeah. Is it a great bike? Yeah. So you can't go wrong. But like I said, pick the bike for the way you're going to ride. Pick the bike for you. And I guess that's enough of that. Ride safe, ride free.